Mic check and screen share check, please.
Check.
All right, good evening, guys. Ken at Tortoise Capital Nightly Strategy Podcast for August 19th, 2024. Start with the sniper trade of the day. This is Alcoa on 10 minutes. So here's Friday's close and sideways grind. There's the close. Here's the open. There's the OR10. So it was a very small gap. There's just a pure mechanical entry to break out from the OR10. This is the standard risk box. That's the R5 risk box. Playing with the spine of the dragon, the simple 10 period moving average for the exit. Try that this week just to demonstrate the technique. So that's 1 unit of risk, 2 units of reward. That's a 2R win. That's a COTA 2 re-entry with a half an hour loss. And that was enough for today. So for a net of 1.5. Here is some grinding on the SPY. So we're going to look at a 3-minute chart. Here was Friday's close. Here was the gap up. This is the OR3. Second bar breaks out, so I take that. This is $1 stop in SPY, and the index would be $10. breaks below the uh, the VWAP a second time, and the R10 is rolled over. So we take minus 0.3 on that one. We got here's our PSAR. Here's our Bollinger Band mean. When it breaks through the PSAR, I take that short. It works against me right away for about minus 0.9. I take it short again when it breaks out below the box and through the PSAR. Same risk box as before. I get a fractional win, maybe 0.3. It had gone about this far in my favor and then reversed. So I wanted to keep something. Ended up keeping that. And that off, in my mind, that offsets my loss here. So right now we're at about minus 0.9. I wait for the emerging dragon, having gotten burned on a couple trades right there, needed to get back to my zero state. So if we just draw that line from the peak of the R10, the RL10 has now come through the VWAP, through the PSAR. So I feel like I've got enough here, enough justification. So there's my risk box. That gives me about maybe half an hour. That's a Kata 2 reentry. I lose about 0.3. I stop and reverse when it crosses the Bollinger Band mean, scratches, Kata 2 reentry. So you can see what I mean, the grind. So we're at about that gives me about 0.5, and that was enough for the day. So I think we ended up about minus 0.5 for the day. It was just grinding me all the way through here. Never really got the big moves I wanted, and netting about 0.5. So when I was lost the will to trade that one, um, so there was actually some moves in the rest of the day that were paying off, but I had better fish to fry until that last 30 minutes. Holy smokes! Great big strong move to close with a very positive intent. And I notice thinking about tomorrow, the slope of that VWAP says that there was a lot of volume being transacted. And then the increase right here says there was a lot of volume transacted in that last 20, 30 minutes. So I'm taking that as a signal for some initial strength tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. A lot of volume transacted there. All right, let's take a look at the traders today. Jonathan does a nice job here uh, getting the reversal into SSC for the SSC and nets 0.3 on EWW. This is Tim, who also traded the Alcoa. Well, he brings in 3.1. Nice work on that. Hamad minus 0.6 in the grind here in financials. Offsets that with 0.8 in EWZ. Getting that re-entry here would have made a big difference in the day. He ends up getting a second entry just in time to grind, but the re-entry here was well done. That makes him positive for the day. In DIA, grinding, no follow through after the move up. Excuse me. And then on the energy XLE, he does tie into that early move to give him 1.8. So he ends up around +2 for the day. I think, yeah, I think that was it for the traders. Now, just a quick look at the reports. Oop, wrong one. Stand by. Damn it. All right, let's look at today's report. In the 150-day look back, you can see that we've recovered. Come on, dummy. You can see that we've recovered off this about a 10% sell-off to 510. We've recovered all the way back up to 553. That's like +9%. And we're within spitting distance of the all-time high. So that looks promising. Especially, I think they're going to make a run at it tomorrow, given all that volume at the end of the day. That's one way to look at that. I'll be ready for that. Also ready for a reversal after a 9% swing trade gain. It's important to note that if you go back and look at the daily report back in here, All of the channeling and overreaction swing trades were firing, which is a high probability of a short-term bounce. We've actually gotten like a double bounce on that. That's more than you might expect. Um, so this would be a natural place to start pausing to protect those gains. If people are worried about being able to break through here and failing, this would be where you'd expect to see some profit taken coming in. So there's a natural tendency for this to start to stall. So if you've got good gains in hand, this would be a good place to make sure your exit strategies reflect the a potential cooling off right there. Go to dashboard one, bullish volatile, overbought on every NDX look back period. Volatility has reversed and is now favoring the long side. Still abnormally large volatility. So uh, the move in either direction is likely to be large. No mechanical swings. Um, Big move today up in McDonald's, Nvidia, Apple, and Boeing. Just a little bit of weakness in Pfizer, but otherwise a pretty good day. We're making new 10-day highs, so the auto framer is not going to have any signals. That's normal. Same thing in the ETFs. Had a great big move in gold and positive moves in the global ETFs, making new 10-day highs. So generally speaking, broad strength in all the markets. The gold breakout is particularly interesting. That was at a hedge against the next retracement. Don't know. Going to look at the daily squeeze. We'll skip the daily squeeze for now. Yeah, Cliff is an interesting one. I just wanted to show the what that four to one reward to risk looks like. Remember, his R7 is only 7 cents. Um, I absolutely love this chart setup here in Cliff. You had a really nice move up that then failed once, pause, twice. There was a failed effort to recover back to the mean that failed one more time. But the last 10 days have been kind of choppy. Friday was a tight doji at the bottom of the sell-off with orderly selling, the smallest range of the last 30 days. And then today was a little gap up and ran up, and then they couldn't hold it, came all the way back. But the keynote is that it held above yesterday's prices altogether. So what that sets up is this kind of frame. This is the quiz. Why do I love that so much? Well, if we treat this as the yellow zone, there's with the 7 cent risk box, that's a 40-cent range. You can still get a 5-to-1 intraday potential move. If it opens near the close, that's and 7 cent risk, that's a 4 or 5-to-1 intraday trade just to the high of the day. If it breaks out from there, it'll gain momentum and break above the dragon for momentum. And then if it breaks through the PSAR, that would be a full range stat move, and then that will really go. And you might get the size of a range like you see here, a really range expansion. And then there's a nice price ladder all the way up for this thing, all the way to get back to previous normal around 16. But if this fails through today's low, then that's a short. And then if it breaks below the low of the doji, that's a collapsing dragon going this way. So what you have is a perfect compound critical state that can be traded intraday with the possibility, uncontroversially, of really large moves in either direction based on the small amount of risk that you have to take to get into that trade. So I'm going to be following my rules and following price, and that's what I want to cover for tonight. All right, that's everything I got for tonight. Take good care. My daughter's out of the hospital. They put a blood patch on the spinal tap where it was leaking. She feels much better, and she's back into school and med school. And last night was the first good night of sleep I've had in 2 weeks. So take good care, stay healthy, take care of your family. We'll be ready for them tomorrow.